We're conditioned to believe that we should be able to do it all.
You're listening to Overwhelmed Working Woman, the podcast that helps you be more calm and more productive by doing less. I'm your host, Michelle Gauthier, a former overwhelmed working woman and current life coach. On this show, we unpack the stress and pressure that today's working woman experiences. And in each episode, you'll get a strategy to bring more calm, ease, and relaxation to your life.
Hi, friend. Thanks for joining today. Today, I want to go back to the basics and talk about how to actually do less because at its core, overwhelm is a volume problem. Too many things on your to-do list, too many people asking for things from you, too many emails coming into your inbox, etc., etc. So I want to give you a very simple, clean, actionable way to just do less to feel less stressed and overwhelmed. When you listen today, you're going to learn 3 ways that you can start doing less right now. You could start some of these today, and you will learn how to bag it, barter it, and better it, which is a tool that I learned from Martha Beck. I did my life coach training under Martha Beck. She is brilliant. If you don't know her, she's written tons of great books. I highly recommend checking her out, but she taught me this tool. It's one of the first life coaching tools I learned way back in 2018, and I still use it all the time because it is super simple, it makes sense, and it works. What more can you ask for out of a tool? Okay, so let's jump into the framework, the 3 B's as Martha Beck calls it. The first is bag it. When you bag something, you just don't do it anymore. Some things don't need to be optimized, they just need to be eliminated. In my corporate job, my job title was simplification leader, and I used to lead these big meetings where we would try to figure out how to do things more simply, how to do them more quickly or with better customer satisfaction, or how to make more money. And the very first question we would always ask is, what process step can we just remove? What is something that we just do not need to do anymore? So when you ask yourself this question, what can I bag? Just notice that your brain will probably be like, nothing. Everything I have to do is really essential. But really push back and ask yourself, what is something that I can just stop doing? I will tell you some of the things that I just stopped doing. One of them is lunches for my kids. I used to make my kids lunch, send them to school with them. They would bring them back mostly full. I would clean out all the stuff that they didn't eat. It was a huge waste of time on both ends, and they weren't really eating it. So I just bagged that task. So now they have the option to either make their own lunch if they want to make their own lunch, or they have money on their accounts to buy lunch at school. I also set it up so that when their lunch funds run low, it just automatically charges $50 more or whatever it is on my credit card. I don't look at what they eat. I don't have anything to do with it. Their lunches are their own responsibility. I just completely took it off my list. I used to try to make my dog go for walks. My dog, maybe the only dog in the world who doesn't like to go for walks. Why am I trying to do this? My dog runs around the backyard. She doesn't need walks. No more dog walking. Done. Sometimes you can just not do something anymore if you can fully automate it. I just don't pay my bills anymore because I have them all set up to automatically come out. That's another example of where you can bag something. The second option is to barter it. So to barter is to either pay for something, trade for something, share the load, tell someone I'll babysit your kids if you do my taxes or something like that. I am a huge fan of outsourcing, and I feel like as a single business owning mom, it is worth every penny that I spend in order to have someone else take care of the things that I do not enjoy doing but want done. I'm going to tell you 2 things that might feel uncomfortable about the idea of paying for something or trading services with someone. Number 1, you might feel like you don't need to ask for help, or you shouldn't have to ask for help because everybody else is doing it on their own. First of all, everybody else is not doing it on their own. Wait till you hear the list of all the things that I outsource. And second of all, we're conditioned to believe that we should be able to do it all. And that is complete BS. We cannot do it all. Nobody can do it all. What also might come up for you is, well, if I have somebody else clean my home, it won't be as clean as when I do it. Okay, let's pretend that's true. Would you rather have your house mostly clean or dirty because you don't have time to do it? If you're going to outsource, you have to know that you will probably feel uncomfortable about asking for help and that you may feel uncomfortable about the job that someone else is doing. Me, I'm not a great cleaner, so the person who cleans my house does a way better job than I would ever do. But if we think about my mom, for example, who is super clean, I think no one would ever clean her house to her standards, but she has them do it. And then she just does a little follow-up work. Okay, here are the places where I, on the regular, outsource. I absolutely never, ever go to the grocery store. I have delivery every single week. I get delivery from Costco. I get delivery anytime that I can get delivery. The amount of time that saves me, I can't even imagine. I have a laundry service who comes and picks up on Tuesday and brings it back clean, folded, and ready to put away on Wednesday. I have someone who does the yard. I have someone who cleans the windows every season. I have previously had someone who comes into our house and makes meals for us. Now I purchase a lot of meals from, we have a place here called Fit Flavors. That's healthy food that you can buy in bulk. I do that every week for at least some of the meals that we have. I've done meal subscriptions. All of those things are outsourcing so that you can have more time back in your life and do less. And then after you've gone through everything that you need to do and you cross off the ones you're not going to do anymore and you outsource all the ones that you don't want to do anymore, but still you want or need to be done, the last thing to do is to better it, which is to make the task easier, fun, or faster. So if it has to stay, if you have to do this task, it doesn't have to be miserable. A great example of this is pairing chores with podcasts or audiobooks so that they go by more quickly and you're also learning or enjoying something else. Another example of bettering something is creating an intentional routine instead of making constant decisions about things. So for example, if you know that every day one of the things that you do is you pick up your house before you go to bed, you could set a routine to that, even set a reminder on your Alexa to say, okay, now is the 5 minutes where we pick up the house and get your family involved and maybe play a song and make it fun so you can make something better in that way. A couple ways that you can better it include making the task smaller. So being able to do it more quickly because you make it smaller. So instead of cleaning the whole house, maybe you clear one surface. And instead of catching up on email, maybe you reply to 3 messages. Just make the task a little bit smaller so that it's not so arduous and you actually probably will start on it more likely if it's smaller. Another way to better a task is to remove some of the decisions. One of the best listener tips I ever got was from a woman who serves the same dinners every week. Both of her kids like it, her spouse likes it, and she knows exactly what they're going to have every week. Imagine how much decision time that takes out of what should I make? What should the grocery list be? How do I prepare this? Do we have all the ingredients? That is such a great way to make it simple. I personally eat the same breakfast and lunch every day for a week. I eat the same breakfast every day forever until I get so sick of it I can't do it. And I rotate my lunches by week and I just don't have to think about it beyond that. You can also have a default outfit. Like if you know that you need to get dressed to go somewhere, maybe you have 3 go-to outfits where you're like, should I put on A, B, or C? Because if you don't have to decide again and again, it saves you a lot of time and it makes the task so much better. And then the last tip, which is scheduling focused work during your best energy window. So for me, that's early in the morning. If I really want to concentrate or need to have a new creative idea, I'm going to do that in the morning. Or doing prep tasks when you're already in motion. For example, if I'm making soup and I'm chopping carrots and I know tomorrow that I'm going to have tacos, maybe I'll cut up the tomatoes or whatever. So when you're already in that mode, do your future self a favor and set it up then. Okay, so those are 3 solid ways to do less in order to feel less overwhelmed. Bag it, barter it, or better it. Let me know which one you like best. I challenge you to try to think of one in each one of those groups so that you can be doing less by the end of today. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Overwhelmed Working Woman podcast. If you want to learn more about my work, head over to my website at michellegothier.com. See you next week.